Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Meeple has landed.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Vitruvian Meeple's production of Echoes of the Undying. I'm your host, Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple, here as always with Matt, Julie, Ray, Patrick, and ECAT. We're here to play some CYPHER system. We're going to dive right in because, good lords, did we leave it on an interesting note. When last we left, our various subgroups of the party, because the party split like a bad date, caused chaos in the market in a couple of different ways. While some of them went back and continued to investigate the happenings at the Temple of Erashki, where things got very, very interesting. They met Kella, the priestess who seemed possibly to have been either a suspect or a victim, or maybe both. We're not sure. Tried very, very hard to get some useful information out of her, and she was nearly catatonic. But then, near the end, they turned their back on her for a moment.
Have you heard of Royal Kingdom? I'm sorry.
And when they looked again, she was gone. They went back inside.
No,
and...
my bad.
No, my bad.
Right.
My good. Went back inside, and while investigating, Tick saw through his cat's eye goggles a patch of black against black on the ceiling that then opened a series of bright red eyes and stared directly at him. And he knew that...
I didn't like it.
No. And he knew full well that this was not like when they were at the spring at Riverhead. This was not looking past him. This was not looking through him. This was looking directly at him. Some more investigation, and as we left, Serafina and Zahar had discovered some symbols and scrawling runes and whatnot over the walls of the Great Hall, which Zahar immediately recognized as the symbols of Ishun, god of the undead and ex-husband of her deity Erashki, goddess of death. And so we return to that very moment, that very time and place, in the temple. The smell of blood is still almost overpowering. That sick smell of sweet, wet iron is almost overwhelms your senses. The air itself feels thick with it. And the idea of the humidity in the air coming from blood is immensely unsettling to you, and yet there you are. You look around, and as you are looking around, as the two of you are looking around, the runes kind of, they flare to life with kind of a grayish black glow. And then the rest of you can see them as well. And they are, you cannot tell if they were intended for a ritual or intended as graffiti or somewhere in between. It could have been any of them.
Is your temple supposed to do that?
And there goes the mood.
I haven't been in it before. I don't know.
I was going to say, you guys can start to almost feel the absolute rage radiating off of Zahar that they dared to desecrate her temple. Her rage is so bad she cannot speak. She is just literally shaking with rage.
No, I don't think it's supposed to do that. Really, Zill?
Do I look like a person who goes to church?
Of the two of us, I thought you understood people better than I do.
No, I understand people. I just don't understand church. That's why I asked.
Okay, if she kills you, I'm not getting in the way of things.
We're going to be fourth. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there's some things that we can't protect you from, and there's some things that we won't protect you from.
So, what do these mean?
Is there any chance that Takeedle in his studies has seen anything like this and can decipher any of it?
Yeah, Takedo, why don't you give me a we're gonna make this a decipher roll. We're gonna make it a little harder than normal because of what it is. This is going to be difficulty 5 intellect. Or you can just roll decipher, I think. Yeah.
Hold on. Trying to find decipher.
It's under abilities.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Go.
Top.
Yep.
There you go.
Got it.
A little rusty. It's all good, man.
There you go. Nice.
Nice.
Yes, you do manage to decipher these. They are absolutely ritual runes. They were made intentionally. The style is a bit hasty, but that doesn't detract from the meaning or the power of them. There are runes here that come from several different ancient languages that you have managed to come across in your study of all things interesting. None of which you thought were in use still. You thought they were all dead languages. But as your brain is just piecing things together and remembering little bits of history, and you recall that a lot of these were used as kind of wards, but specifically wards of containment as opposed to wards of protection. And there's one. There is one, however, that is an ancient rune that basically equates to a key for the lock. So anyone who knows how to activate the runes correctly would know how to activate that one and get past what you're assuming is otherwise basically a prison cell.
So, Takeedle looks over at Zahar, sees still unmoving face of rage, and for once decides better. And addresses, like, just sort of tries to get the other three's attention and kind of motions towards them and points to various words, the way that they seem to look, and goes, "Look, all of these words: bind, hold, maintain. Whatever did this here was trying to keep something in rather than disperse something. And this one over here," and he points to the key rune. I don't exactly know what this means, but if we can figure this one out, this is how we get out of here.
Seraphina,
Yes.
you didn't notice it at first because you were just kind of overwhelmed with the whole situation. But when Tahito points out that rune to you, you recognize it. It is an ancient form of the celestial alphabet. Or rather, a celestial pictogram. And it, from what you remember, the meaning is generally escape, specifically escape without notice.
How long have all these runes been here? And is the key one newer than the others?
So we're gonna make that a crafting roll. Oh wait, no. No. We're gonna anyone who wants to can make me. This is gonna be again a difficulty 5. It's gonna be an intellect roll. Identifying would probably help. Anything crafting or like appraisal, Taquito, you could use that.
Okay.
And again, if there's something else that you think would make sense, sell me on it.
So we're trying to for the runes, can I use magic? If it's the runes, can I use magic training?
No, because specifically what you're trying to identify is like how long they've been there.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't part of the magic. It's the physical inscription.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll just do a straight intellect roll then.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened.
I'm still pissed off.
Yep.
I actually made
Nope.
the roll. So
Yep.
I'm not going to roll. I'm the one who asked the question, so obviously I don't know.
Sure. Fair enough. So the unlikely duo of Taquito and Power. It must be something about the height of it.
yeah.
You see, no, there is no appreciable difference between. These were all done very, very recently. 15, 13. Yeah, I'd say you would pin them at a rough guess no more than a week, probably not even. With no particular distinction between the key rune and any of the others.
So the way this plays out is that Zell asks the question, and Zahar is still fuming from a distance, but looking and can't figure it out because she's still fuming. And then the three of us, you see the camera pining like all of our faces at different height levels, like lean in and scan, just like are kind of looking up and down. And inexplicably, you hear both Hereward and Taquito mumble at the same time, "No more than a week old." And we look at each other and it's like, how did you come up with that?
The tool marks are fresh. See how they haven't weathered?
Okay.
I do
That makes
tracks.
sense.
It's not that much different. How did you figure it out?
Looking at the deposit of what's on the runes. Looking at oxidation rate.
And does the lock rune look like it was done by the same person that did the others?
Yes.
How far away was the symbol of Ishun from all the rest of this?
There are actually 4 of them, one in each of the cardinal directions. And they're kind of standing up above them, kind of like, 4 points on a crown. The escape rune is directly under one of the Ishun runes. It is the one pointing south.
Is there anything indicating cardinal direction? Like, are we talking the up, down, left, right? Is it referring to actual up or some kind of magnetic north? Is that apparent at all?
So the runes basically are a ring around the room.
Oh, okay.
And the 4 ones that designate Ishun are just higher up on the wall.
I see. Okay, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Where did we come through?
You came through the southwest.
And what is directly below the south rune? The escape rune.
It's just wall.
Serafina,
Yes.
what did you make out with this rune? Pointing to the one that's the celestial
Yeah.
that you recognize.
And I'm having a complete brain fart on what
Um,
on what that was.
It was escape, specifically escape without notice.
Escape without notice.
But there's no door here.
I think a temporary magical door was created. Excuse me. Let's see.
Can I use seen through trick illusion to look in that area that they're pointing at? To see if I see something. I mean, it's been a while since I've been in this temple, but
Sure.
I've probably been here more than they have.
Yeah. Yes. It's going to be difficulty 5.
Not throwing any effort because I'm low on intellect.
Ooh.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll do it this way then.
Well, in my left hand, I've got the blade of Erashki out, and it's been charged since we walked into this
Mhm.
place. With my right hand, I just wrap it around my medallion and just, without words or even coherent thought, just kind of send out this emotional plea
Okay.
for help. I'll accept it.
Excellent.
And let's see who needs.
Guys, it's a neck time.
I'll give it to Pete because he's low on fun XP.
So, Zahar, you kind of you reach your magical senses, and your faith in Erashki, and your devotion forward to this thing, and it is, well, it was definitely some kind of illusion or something. I would like you please to make me, that's going to be an intellect defense roll, difficulty 7.
Okay, for that one, I will give up my.
Oh, nice! Excellent!
Sweet.
Okay.
Helps that I am trained in intellect defense.
Yep. Don't forget to hit the coins to get your points back. Okay. Nice. So you feel and see these black tentacles kind of shoot forth from the eye of the rune. And they are trying to grapple you and pull you in. And it takes every bit of your strength. And if you would please describe to me what Zahar does in her mind that finally breaks her of this pull and allows her to pull free.
So it's all a mental. It's not an actual physical.
It is
attack?
absolutely physical, but as it's pulling you in, you can feel that you're fighting it with your body is not going to be of any use. And that's what it's trying to get you to do, because that's what would be reasonable to assume. No, you have to fight it off with your mind.
So in her mind, her vision is just laser focused on these. And in her mind, she is saying to this thing, I am the chosen warrior of Erashki. I am the protector of this temple. You will not enter. And just all that conviction and belief that she is the chosen warrior of Erashki and has been for 12 years. She's the only one. There are speakers, but she is the only warrior. And just that determination, and takes the rage and funnels it back at this thing.
Okay. So each of you see something a little different as this is happening. Zell, you see kind of this dark purple kind of flowing energy, not so much like tentacles or tendrils like what Zahara is seeing, but kind of somewhere between a cloud and an ooze, I suppose. And you're kind of seeing it only in your mind's eye. It's kind of almost half superimposed on reality. And it shoots directly into, towards Zahar's face, and literally in every orifice you can see. And I'll tell you what happens next once we get to the rest of them. Serafina. It's warm. Not hot, not uncomfortable. In fact, very comfortable. Warm. And you hear, if you didn't know better, you'd swear you just heard wind chimes. And you see what starts as a very warm yellow light come out of this rune, and it envelops Zahar like a blanket, like a very, very comfortable, cozy blanket. And the light gets brighter and whiter and brighter and whiter and harsher and hotter. And we'll put that on hold. Takeedle. You see the patch of black again. You see it almost crawl out of the center of this rune, almost like a very, very many-legged spider. And you see it actually, it kind of hooks some of its pseudopods. It looks like almost grabbing the wall, and then shoots them out. It shoots some others out towards Zahar. They go straight into her eyes. Howard.
Mm-hmm.
You see nothing. And then all of you simultaneously, including you, Howard, you see this part. You see Zahar, it starts from a low growl and kind of erupts into somewhere between a howl and a scream of just rage and determination and just everything that she has. And whatever form you are seeing this in, it withdraws generally the same way that you saw it come out, except Serafina, you see what is now become a cocoon. You see it shatter. And as it shatters, where you would expect to hear the sound of breaking glass or something similar like that, you hear nothing but more wind chimes. Zahar, you fight this thing off and kind of, despite yourself, you drop to one knee. And you are breathing a little hard.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you sense something strange, and you kind of reach up to your. You are in a cold sweat for quite possibly the first time in your life.
Meanwhile, I'm muttering in my desert dialect just a general prayer to any deity.
Okay.
It's like an all-encompassing.
Breaker, anyone out there?
Yeah. It's the equivalent of God is good, God is great kind of thing. Just anyone who hears.
Dear Lord, please change the laws of the universe for my convenience.
Yes, basically.
Through the valley of the shadow of death.
Basically.
Yada, yada, yada.
I take a look at my wife
Miracle.
and realize she's very plain. So what happens now?
Can we like destroy these runes, or do we just want to get the heck out of here?
Well, we were trying to track down Kella, who can't stand direct sunlight, so
Because
we
that's
st-
not suspicious at all.
right. So, there is something possessing her, I assume, that we were trying to.
Are we in a courtyard kind of
No,
area,
you're
Mr. DM?
you are. I believe you were in the main worship hall.
Okay.
Which is probably. I mean, it's not big. It can't be. Big.
No, but I was just trying to
yeah.
envision if there was a roof, a ceiling to this area.
There is. It's actually slightly domed.
Okay.
The room itself is probably. It's not quite completely circular, but it's definitely curved. Probably you would guess about 10-foot radius.
Right. I, using my sword, call myself to my feet. I turn to Fina and go, for lack of a speaker of the flame, I'm asking you, we need to cleanse this room. And the only way we can cleanse it is with fire.
I can do that. Okay.
We don't want to be in here when she does this, guys.
Yeah, everybody out.
Familiar with her work. I pull myself out.
Okay.
Kind of stumble.
Okay, so you're not giving her any guidance on how to do this.
Nope, just burn it with fire.
Okay.
Hereward looks at everybody leaving, and he pulls out a small red gem and just crushes it in his hand. And I'm activating a fire resistance cipher.
Nice.
That gives me +7 armor to fire.
Nice.
So hopefully I can bodyguard Seraphina a little bit.
Okay. Well. First, I'm going to turn on my Shroud of Flame, so I'm completely encompassed in fire.
Yep.
Go to the center of this room. And I start moving. Start dancing. And the flame starts to build up in my hands as I start to get onslaught ramped up. And I start dancing and whirling and just a very slow rotation. And I am shooting fire at the walls, at the ceiling, at the floor.
Howard, are you doing anything other than just watching?
I'm basically trying to watch her back as she's doing this. But otherwise, I'm letting her lead because this is spooky magic stuff that he doesn't know very much about. So
make me an intellect check. We'll call it difficulty 3. Anything to do with either common sense or religion would probably apply here. If Howard is trained in common sense, I may laugh myself silly.
Nope.
Common sense.
Nice.
However,
so
he does do danger.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, and specifically, it occurs to you, Howard, that at the heart of this, what Zahar was going for was a religious ritual. So, who is in your pantheon? Who is the deity of fire?
Good question. But
Look at the GM making the player have to think on his feet.
Right?
that's a classic trick.
What is your character thinking right now?
Glad that his ass is fireproof. um,
I am trying really hard to not singe your feathers.
that's all right. Unless you can
Go ahead.
put out more than 7 points of damage.
Yes, he's covered in red glitter right now. He's fine.
Okay. The only time anybody's ever said that about glitter.
And Matt.
Oh, what's the GIF meme? The guy, kind of just throwing the handful of glitter up in the air in front of his face. That's kind of the somatic component, as it was, as it were, of activating that cipher. You crush it, you.
Sees Waha, the god of the raging fire.
Love it. Okay. So, you remember that Zahar basically is having Seraphina stand in as what she called the speaker of the flame. Which to you in your belief system would basically, she is acting as a priest of Waha. And while you were, yes, that one. While, that Waha was never your particular deity of devotion, you kind of learn a few prayers for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just, CYA, if nothing else. And you think actually that like reciting a prayer or a hymn or something similar to Waka might actually help in this situation.
Lord of the Untamed Flame, I know I am not one of yours. I am not bound to you, but still, you are of my people, and we need this place cleansed.
As you do this, you start to hear very, very faintly, you hear a song in the back of your head. It may be one of Waka's hymns, you don't know. But you start, kind of even without thinking, you start singing. You don't know how you know the words, but you do. Seraphina, you don't know how you know the words either, but even without realizing it, the two of you are singing together. Like with harmonies and everything. It sounds really fucking cool.
Do I recognize the song?
You are outside.
Okay. Well, I'm outside the room. I
Yeah.
don't know. Okay. I didn't know if they were singing loud enough that I would hear it.
Not yet. And you're also contending with the sound of the building flames. No, for right now it is soft. It is it actually takes each of you a minute to even realize that the other one is singing as well. Seraphina, we're gonna start having you make some magic training checks.
Okay.
We're gonna do this again as a set of graduated checks like we did with Tick.
Okay.
So let's see. You have... Okay, you have magic training. Anything else? Not really. Okay. So the first one, the first check, it's going to be like, 1 a minute to see how we do. The first one, you can pass through no problem. It's a difficulty 1. You're magic training and not even really thinking about it. As you're going, you start to feel almost some psychic magical resistance. Kind of like you're trying to push through some foam, basically, some kind of thick foam. If you would make me, please, a magic training roll difficulty 2. Nice. Okay. As you are continuing, now is about, you're both starting to get a little bit louder, and now you can actually hear and realize that you're both singing. And Seraphina, this gives you some extra added strength to what you're doing. For the rest of these, you can take an asset on the roll because of Howard singing. Please now make me a magic training roll again with 1 asset, difficulty 3. Okay. So describe for us how this is getting more difficult as you go. What are you coming up against?
I feel like there's something trying to smother the flames.
Okay.
So it's this oppressive weight with an almost, it's not wet like water. It's not like sticky, but it's like somewhere kind of in between. So it's kind of like almost like an oozy.
Okay.
Kind of feeling. And so I'm trying to not only keep the flames up to do the purification, but also to try to basically burn off the ooze.
Okay. All right. Please make me a roll difficulty 4. Okay. It continues to get harder. The fire is now starting to spread across the room. There's surprisingly little smoke, given that you are basically letting a huge fire inside. But you can actually start to almost see, again, in your mind's eye a little bit, that kind of blanket that you were talking about, the heaviness. It feels... the atmosphere is very much like you're in a swamp. It's that same kind of heavy with moisture, very like oppressively humid. But you know that it's not actual moisture. It's this magical kind of equivalent. It is getting a little harder to move, as it is now actively fighting what you are trying to do. Please make me a difficulty 5 roll. Nice!
There we go.
Okay, so
I will take that.
Yep, I will say as your minor effect, you can have a single asset to a second asset for the next roll.
That works for me.
So you reach this rousing crescendo in the hymn that you are both singing, and you can hear, like I said, the two of you are harmonizing without even thinking about it, and you're kind of hearing just these beautiful harmonies echo off the domed ceiling. The rest of you outside, you can hear this now. You can hear the flames rising. You can hear this song rising. you can also start to hear, though you don't feel it. You feel like you hear that howl of a blowing wind in every spooky story. There is no wind, but you can. Fina and Howard, you do not hear this. It's just the three outside. And it is. It's getting concerning. And we continue back inside. Seraphina, please make me a difficulty 6, and you can take a second asset for your minor effect from the last roll. Oh, we need to change magic training to be intellect based. Hold on, give me 1 second here.
Okay.
Oh, because it's not. Yeah. Let's do this. Okay. So yeah, let's make these intellect pool, because you do need to take those 2 points from the minor effect, or
And
2 points from the 19.
there we go. Okay. That's manually updated,
Yep.
and okay. Yes.
Whew. Okay. You are almost there. You are becoming exhausted. Your brain is pretty much mush at this point. You need to make one final check. I will allow you to add 1 level of effort to it, but the extra point, because your intellect will still come, your edge will still come into play, will come off your might, and you will be unconscious if you choose to use that level of effort.
Yes. Okay. Do I still have the second
No,
asset, or is
one,
it just
1 asset.
okay? Nope.
You got 3
I feel
XP.
I feel like donating an XP point over to her. If you can do that again.
So no, actually, for right now, I'm gonna say that only Seraphina and Howard can contribute XP to this.
I've got 5. Let them rip.
Okay.
No.
You can keep.
There are 4 left.
There we
we
go. Nice. Okay, so that means you don't spend the points, which means you don't lose your last intellect point. So Howard, you are seeing Seraphina. She is tired. She is stumbling. She is forcing her way through this dance, and she is not going to make it. What do you do at the last moment to pull her through this?
I literally just pick her up.
Okay.
And, keep her upright.
Okay. You've never been much of a dancer.
Nope.
And it's very
Just
odd.
drums.
Hmm?
Just on drums.
Yeah. And it's weird because you're not quite sure which one of you is leading at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, you feel the rhythm, the beat, the drum beat, the rhythm of this song. It is filling you. It is coursing through you. It is coursing through both of you. And you see her stumble, and you come over and you take her and you lead her. No idea how you know how to do this, through the last few steps of the dance. Howard, you are even, and the dance ends and she erupts in this ball of flame. Howard, you do take above and beyond your fire armor. You take 3 points of fire damage that otherwise ignores armor.
Okay. Fair price to pay.
Yep.
Bet it smells awful in here now, but
Barbecue.
Little bit of singed feathers going on
I
here.
feel
Yeah.
like Peking duck all of a
You're
sudden.
right.
no, that would smell good. This is burning feathers, which
This is-
does not smell
yeah,
good.
This is smoking duck. Yeah, the two of you are on the floor. You're both leaning against each other. Your eyes are closed. You kind of open your eyes about simultaneously. The oppression, the weight is gone. All of the runes except the key rune almost age, and the ink or whatever's used to make them kind of ages and crumbles to dust as you watch it. They leave behind scars, burned scars in the walls. So the evidence of the runes is not gone, but the runes, and it feels like with them the magic of them is gone. The key rune is now on fire, and it is burning white. And Seraphina, I'll do this as a GM intrusion because it's only fair. GM intrusion for the Seraphina. Oh, take it. No, I didn't do that. There.
There we go.
Okay.
Matt, get an XP back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
As you just finally succumb to the exhaustion and the pain and the complete just lack of anything else to go on, you look up and you see this rune, and you hear coming kind of through it, you hear two voices, a male and a female voice, and they're singing. And they're singing in Celestial. And you get just enough before the fire kind of folds in on itself and disappears. It was a lullaby. And it's one that you remember hearing. And that is your last thought before you pass into blessed unconsciousness. The other three of you. Well, the fire's gone. The singing is done. There was a large burst of flame that kind of did come out through to where you are. A little bit of backdraft, not bad, but enough that it was there. And then a moment later, it's just quiet. What did the three of you do?
Go back inside. See how the two are doing, because there's a huge explosion, and our friends are still in there.
Yep. Okay. So you go back in. You see, Howard, you are currently just kind of, laying Seraphina's body gently down onto the ground, her unconscious body. Because
Yeah,
you felt her go limp.
right. I figured when they come in, they see him sort of
Yeah.
sitting cross-legged on the ground with her head pillowed in his lap.
So you actually, as you go and you see that you can tell that he has just finished laying the rest of her body down, and he is sitting and putting her head in his lap as you walk in. His feathers are singed. He looks tired. And Seraphina, he doesn't look worried though, so you're guessing is that she's probably not dead.
I look around. I nod. And look at the others and go, we can't stay here.
I pull out my water skin. See if I can get some of it into Seraphina without making her choke.
I pull up my water skin, drain the whole thing, put it back, let's move on.
Lip balm?
Right? Would you like a secret?
Wet nap?
Um, so you can't stay here. It might not be a bad idea to take 10 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Go through some recovery rolls, maybe.
Well, where am I?
They're on the combat tab.
No, I know.
Oh.
I'm like, where am I as far as
Oh, yeah.
doing? I'm at 10 hours. I don't have any.
Oh,
more
yeah,
roll
okay.
to do. But
Oof, yeah.
while you guys do recuperate for a little bit, I stumble outside. Well, not stumble, but drag myself out there and look for a street rat.
Okay.
That's better. Sure. Yeah, you can find a street rat.
I grab one. I hold up a gold coin, but I don't give it to him. And this is like full gold, not silver. And say, go fetch the speaker of the flame.
How
And
much
this
of a
is
dick do I
yours.
want to be? No, I'm not going to be that much of a dick.
Well, that's why I'm not giving it to him.
No, what I was debating was making it Charuz and have him hold up the entire bag of coins. Like, no, I'm good, thanks. But no, I
Okay.
will not be that much of a dick.
So, yeah, he's 1 hour recovery, and it's like I'm back up to a 5 and an elect, so I'm like conscious, waking up in Howard's lap, like
Okay, so you're using your 1 hour. Got it. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
yeah, I guess I'll use a 1 hour.
Yeah, so yeah, if you guys want to hang out there for an hour, then anyone who wants to can use their 1 hour as well.
It was either that or Howard was gonna have to carry my ass back to the inn.
That would have been fine
Fair,
with me.
yeah.
No, we have to drag
Okay.
Howard's ass
Oh
back to
boy.
Yeah, Tick, you're not doing so good.
No, I'm not.
Yes, give me.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I could use a drink.
Yes.
I offer him the water skin as well. All I got.
I said I was thirsty, not dirty.
Have you looked at your feathers recently?
It's gonna
I
take.
don't know if that soot came off of the walls or off of your feathers burning, but ooh, you've looked better.
A
I need
little
a,
from.
I need a bath. And Zahar, is Zahar actually in there with back in?
Well, I'm outside waiting for the
Yep.
kid.
Okay.
The kid and the speaker of the flame.
Yep. Yeah, he comes back a couple of minutes later with a woman dressed in red robes. Her name is Taisir. and she is a speaker of the flame.
Okay. So she's not the head, but she's one of the. Gotcha.
Yeah, she is the head speaker for Kosh, but not.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is a speaker. She is not the prophet. Put it that way.
Right. Yeah. So I bow to her. May the flame guide you.
She, she recognizes all of your accoutrements. She bows actually deeper than you do. Champion, we are honored by your presence. If slightly concerned. You sent for me?
I am Zahar bint Majid, daughter of Amina, speaker of the flame.
How fair
My
she.
temple has been desecrated.
We can time for pleasantries later then. How may I be of service?
We have done what we can to cleanse, but I am but one with an infidel who seems to have worked your lord's magics. But more is needed, and I cannot stay here while the desecration may still linger. I ask you to help me with our brothers and sisters cleanse this temple while I and my others rest so that I may commune with my lady. I cannot leave it unprotected.
Understood. There we go. Take me there.
And I bring her in,
Okay.
show her the temple room that has been cleansed.
Yep.
Fina's still unconscious, still
Mhm.
there.
She takes a moment to be both.
Oh, I've also tossed the gold coin to the kid.
Sure, yeah.
Obviously, by the way.
Yeah. She looks around. You can see at the same time that she is both horrified and can't help be a little impressed with the power that was here. And is just full on impressed with the power that Seraphina showed. She makes her way between the rest of you to come up to Seraphina. And Seraphina, you are awake by this point. You're still kind of in the middle of your hour of rest, but you're not actually asleep. And she comes and excuse me. Her hand is ensorcelled in kind of light bluish flame. And she leans down and says, "You have done great service and suffered greatly in the process. May I tend to your wounds?"
Yes, please.
And momentary monitor glitch. Now everything's just a different place. Sorry about that.
Iris, what are you doing? Hi.
If you're a man, I have a question.
You can regain 10 points to your pools.
Nice.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, you feel this. The fire is only slightly warmer than room temperature. But you have a moment of synesthesia because it feels like tasting a nice sweet candy. Not like really, really painfully sweet, but that nice, kind of mild, right in the middle, pleasant but not overpowering.
Yeah.
And it just makes you feel better from the inside out. What happened here? And she's kind of looking back and forth between Seraphina and Zahar and looking around the room. Because like I said, kind of the scars of these runes are still very much there.
So she can see that the markings of a shun.
Yes.
There we go.
I look at Tasir and just, I'm like, somehow the followers of the Dark One came in and they slaughtered my lady's followers. Acolytes, speakers alike.
Except
Here.
for one.
And I think she was under the sway of the Dark One. And she got
yes.
away.
There are not many who understand those of your devotion. But of all of our gods and goddesses, flame and death are very much alike.
They are.
I mourn your loss. I mourn your lady's loss. And I mourn Kasha's loss. Do you mind if I inspect the leavings?
Not at all. Any assistance?
She gets up, and you see she kind of draws a couple of sigils in the air in flame, and her eyes go aflame. She's completely nonplussed by this. And she walks around the room and she's inspecting the runes. And she gets to the key rune. This one yet has a note of power, she says.
I tell everybody what I heard with that key rune with the lullaby in Celestial, the male and female voices.
Is the key rune still on fire, or is that?
No, the fire is out. It looked like the ink or whatever the material was of the key rune kind of folded in on itself and into the little hole in the center, the eye of the key. But you see, there's Seraphina. You can see it with your magic training. Zahar, you can see it with your magic sight as well. This one's not quite dead like the others. There is a little bit of lingering. Seraphina and Zahar, make me magic training rolls. These will be difficulty 4.
Oh, intellect, because I don't have true magic training.
Yep.
Well, I will take that.
Love it, love it, love it.
Where the hell is my... There it is. Oops, I was clicking initiative. I'm wondering why it's not going to let me do that.
Right? Okay. This is a gate. And Serafina, you see it's not quite dead because someone left a linchpin. Someone put a piece of paper over the lock in the door, as it were. This is still active because it still leads somewhere. And possibly more ominously, it still leads from somewhere else to here.
Well, let's open it.
Fuck that.
I need a nap and a very strong drink before I would even consider that.
Okay, can the keeper keep a foot in the door, as it were, so we can prepare a little bit and then come back and do that?
I actually turned to Teak. Hey, Tick.
Yes.
You're all artificery type.
I've been known to dabble.
And with the tip of my scimitar, I point at the keyhole. This appears to be a gate being held open. My
Well,
first
let me-
instinct is to just ram my scimitar in the hole. But maybe there's, some sort of gizmo.
Trevor, does Tick still have his bag? Or did that get left in the market?
That got left at the
workshop.
The workspace.
Well, stuff. Because that bag had my set of lockpicks. So Tick goes, well, hold on. Let me just grab my lockpick. Oh.
I don't think it's a mechanical door.
Well, let me see. And Tick walks over to the hole.
Okay.
Now, is there anything I could get by doing a if it's not physical? I do have magic training. Is that worth investigating?
I will tell you for free that you have something else that I think would be a lot more useful.
I'm sure I do.
What ciphers do you have?
Not even a cipher.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Let me try to no. Equipment. Cat's eyes?
No.
No.
Scan.
Oh! It's been a hot minute.
Right?
Hold on. Where did it go?
It's under abilities.
I'm looking under. Oh my God. No roll. Because I'm looking at all the passive ones.
Mm.
There we go. Okay. Good. And I got bought back some intellect points. So,
Yep.
okay. Do.
Okay. Yeah. So most of your tools were in your bag, but there's kind of the artificer equivalent of the emergency sewing kit, especially for you because you're always tinkering with something.
Yeah.
You have that the little set of the eyeglass screwdriver scale.
Yes.
Tool set.
Yeah.
You kind of sit down and take out take some scrounge some scrap bits of metal or what have you and put something together. And yes, you can use that to scan inside the gate.
I would like to do that.
Okay. Hey, you got 2 intellect eggs. That's free. That's awesome. Love it.
Oh, cool.
So you send this little dealy bopper. So it's kind of this little walking drone. Kind of crawls up the wall, gets to the thing, looks around, very confused. It looks almost confused for a moment because it doesn't look like there's anything to enter. And then a moment later, it's gone.
Huh.
And you're kind of seeing through this thing's sensors because that's what you built it to do. It is okay. So you remember like the cosmic space tube from the Doctor Who opening sequence?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Except every once in a while you can see that it kind of branches off. And some of the branches you can kind of see kind of collapsing in on themselves. And when they get back to the main trunk, the gate just kind of irises in on itself so that it is now there is no longer a branch there. And you can hear through this thing, and you know that you can only scan like a relatively small area. So this is far farther than you should be able to get with one of these things. But you hear from way far down, not even sure how you can hear it this far away. You hear Gnomish.
Am I able to understand everything being said?
It takes you a while. It takes you. In fact, make me yeah, because this is hard. Make me a difficulty 4 intellect check. Decipher will not come into play here because it's not reading. But if you have got something else you want to try to sell me on, that's fine. Or you could just roll
Or
an 18.
Yeah.
It is just everyday, unremarkable conversation. Like you'd hear in a moderately crowded marketplace.
Single conversation or a small crowd?
Multiple. That's kind of hard. It's kind of, that's why it's a little hard to kind of figure out what any of them specifically are saying.
Right.
It's like being at a cocktail party.
Okay.
And as you're kind of concentrating through this thing, you hear an elderly gnomish woman's voice from behind you, kind of behind you in a 4th dimension. And then in front of you is a very old, wizened, gnomish woman in a robe and holding a staff. And she is looking at you. She cocks her head. Wow. Isn't that interesting? 1 down. 4, 2, and at this point, black shadow kind of seeps over and encompasses her, very much like Venom at this point. Except instead of the 2 big white eyes, it's the 6 bright red eyes. Go! And at that point, your link is severed. And in fact, make me an intellect defense roll, difficulty 4. Okay. Any thoughts for your minor effect?
I have an idea. I need to word it.
Okay. I have one if you don't.
I'm going to go with yours.
Okay. Just before that exchange happened, there was one voice in that crowd that was louder than the others. Again, going with the idea that this is a marketplace, it's someone, hawking their wares, and in fact, you actually hear a kind of deep voice for a gnome, deep male gnomish voice, say, "Step right up, best selection on all of Verkbar." And then the interaction with the gnomish woman and gone.
So Dick is very taken aback by this and like scattles backwards, trying to collect himself.
He's taken aback.
And yeah, taken it. Yeah, yes. Go back. Thank you. And is standing there, eyes wide open and like breathing heavy for a second, trying to calm himself down.
Okay.
I reach in my haversack and hand him a lime.
Tick looks, takes the lime, nods, starts to eat the lime. Makes a face.
Yeah, I say it's more potent than usual. You don't know if it's because of whatever condition it's left you in, or if just your senses are heightened, or whatever. It's just it's packing a little more of a punch.
Yeah. But
fresh.
It's that vasogat reaction of reset for you.
Yup.
Can we close it?
Do we want to close it?
Tick regains himself. We should close it. I did not like what I saw in there.
We can't
She was from
recontemplate the temple. So how
So
do we close it? I look at Tick. I look at Tasir. I'm just a thug. You know, I only have basic.
Oh, can't you just pull the linchpin out?
So we're just going to let the fiend go?
It sounds like they have other targets. I don't think they want to be here any more than we do. But we need to sleep for a day. I don't think they're going to be sitting around on their laurels. And on the other hand, I don't want anything else coming through into the city. You've already seen what destruction, whatever that it can bring up, can wreak here. We don't want any more of that.
I get that, but also, where does this gate lead? It could be thousands of leagues from here, and the trail long cold before we reach up to it.
We have the ability to open it and travel through it. If we wanted to.
Tyseer, at this point, is she still studying? She trying not to get too close because she saw what happened to the little drum. So she looks at Zahar with kind of a look of resignation and sympathy, and says, as much as you and yours may wish to think otherwise, your lady and Ishun are still connected. They share many things. It is said that though they may be separate, their souls are eternally bound. If you were to tap into that bond, I believe you could activate this gate. It will not be pleasant and it will not be easy.
And it is not something I am unacquainted with.
And it is not something that should be done without at least one good night's sleep.
Sleep, booze, and food. Not necessarily in that order.
Necessarily in that
The whole
order.
Cat of cat.
Bath, baby. I'm just
Bath. Yes. Collect up all of all of our stuff, resupply. Then we can go off adventuring into another dimension.
We have no warriors that can post guard, but I can light a sentry flame that will at least let everyone here know if something comes through overnight. Is that sufficient?
Will you let the other speakers and any warriors of the other know? The Lord of Light, all of the others. It has been years since I have been here. I do not know where they all are. I do not have the strength to go find them.
No, and the unity of the convocation is not what it once was. But I will try. Get some rest. Rekindle your flames. Tomorrow we'll see another sunrise.
I thank you, lady. With that, I look at the others and kind of go,
Travel well in your lady's embrace.
may the light and flame guide you.
And she sets to work setting up her sentry, her little alarm spell. And what do the rest of you do?
Heedle books it the fuck out of there. He done been spooked.
Fair, yeah. You've seen some shit today.
Mm-hmm.
Heading back to the inn.
Okay.
I want a bath. I want booze and food and sleep.
I'm with Fina on this one.
Okay. yeah, you make your way back to the Lone Oasis. Amzu is there. He takes one look at the five of you, and calls in one of his helpers, and tells her to draw 5 baths. She kind of looks a little bit surprised, because that is a lot of water for a desert city. Immediately, please. Yes, I'm sorry. And she goes off to do her thing. Well, he says. Do you wish to bend a bartender's ear?
I pull out 3 gold coin, slap them on the bar, and say, I want arak as much as you have. Which is the traditional liquor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the equivalent of ouzo or sambuca. And if that is not enough,
we don't go
let
through
me
that
know.
gate. So we have to get paid tomorrow.
Yeah, this has all been one day. It's been a very busy
Well,
day.
and the bartender is supposed to give me some intel too,
Yep.
but wait till tomorrow, sort of thing.
Yep. He comes out with 2 large bottles of arak. Says, that will get you these. If you are still standing afterwards, we can talk. Fair?
Take it up just start chugging. Hand one over to whoever grabs it first.
That would be me.
He does the the blank stare, blink.
I
Looks
took
back
one
and
more
backs up.
swig and handed.
Then I take a
Yeah,
swig,
I
pass
hand
it on to
mine
Howard.
out. I was gonna say Howard, or I'll hand it to Tick.
You're gonna get tech drunk.
Yep.
Tech doesn't even look at it, he
That's
just
the morning.
takes it and like
Well, we had caffeinated tick.
Yep.
Drunk Tick.
Yeah.
All
We
right.
did.
So is anyone not partaking of the arc?
I'm probably not going to have more than a swig just to taste it. Just
Okay.
so there's at least one sober person. And let's face it, today, I'm the only one who hasn't dealt with a severe case of existential dread. I just chased a thing through a marketplace. That's it.
All right.
You're our designated walker back to bed.
Yep. So I would like, please, because I assume it is not just one swig and then you're done. That you sit here trying to drain the 2 bottles and see where else.
Polish off those bottles.
Yep. So I would like everyone, please,
Contemplate some food, maybe.
to make me might defense rolls, difficulty 5. Zahar, you may have 1 asset on this task, because you have had Arak before.
Good luck, kids.
Nope.
Fingers first, onto the bar.
Oh, okay.
boy.
And for those of you at home, on our side chat, they were all just talking about how wonderful the dice were doing.
No. We were saying that we were going to get screwed because the dice were rolling so well for us.
That's 4 for 4 with an intrusion. That is truly
Yeah.
impressive.
I'm not even
Down,
going to
cat.
XP on that.
You
Not
got 7.
gonna.
All right.
We're just going to have a massive hangover tomorrow.
So yeah, the 4 of you are like, the 3 of you other than Zahar, this you're guessing that in some desert tribal tongue or another, Auroch must mean bomb. And yes, Ray, it does taste slightly like pineapple.
Yeah.
Um,
Memory.
30-year-old
With a strong
inside joke.
panic undertone.
Yeah, it
Um,
should mostly taste like anise.
Yeah.
Anise. Not anus.
The first couple it tastes like anise, but as you go on,
That's the next morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, the four of you are completely in your cups. Zahar, what kind of drunk is Zahar?
She gets quiet and a little angry, and generally is able to keep that under control.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody just, you know, that's how we ended up in jail in our first episode, okay?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, she will not hesitate to start the bar fight if somebody says something.
So I'm gonna say we're gonna take this in the other direction.
Okay.
Because you're still kind of angry and you're still kind of quiet, but you've had a fuck day after a fuck travel. You are home for the first time in quite a while, and a pretty man is being very nice to you. And although you are primarily homosexual, every once in a while, so you are kind of doing that angry hitting on Amzu.
Which these guys have never seen.
No.
'Cause she has always played off that she's basically celibate.
Yeah. So, how do we want to do this? Make me a difficulty 4 social interactions roll
Oh, Jesus.
with an additional hindrance for being just completely slosh drunk.
Oh, God, where's the... Hindered by 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, and it was hindered by an additional 1 because so you still failed, but you failed by a lot. So Amzu is, well, you don't know what his reaction is because you're completely oblivious. The rest of
Zell,
you,
on the other hand,
huh?
Zell, on the other hand, enjoying
Yeah.
a cup of tea, watching all this go down.
Yeah, Zell, Zahar's getting belligerent, and quite possibly, if this were to go in the direction that she seems to want it to go, safe words might be involved. So it may be time to take her away from the bar. Amzu is getting he's getting offended, honestly, because the stuff that she's saying is just like, even for a drunk at a bar, she's getting very creative.
There are 4 pages of trigger warnings on this book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fortunately, I'm good at sweet talking people. So I'm going to sweet talk her into, you need to go upstairs and go to bed because tomorrow's a very big day.
Okay.
That easier or more difficult because she's drunk and belligerent?
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm debating.
She should be more pliable, but
Yeah, I think it all kind of comes out in the wash. Because she should be more pliable because she's drunk, but she's also very belligerent and kind of angry because she's drunk.
And I'm very much trying to keep her from punching me out.
Yes. So make me a. This will be a. What do you have? I know you have like all pleasant social interactions. I think you have something else too.
Persuasion?
Yeah. So yes, you can roll persuasion and treat yourself as specialized. But it will be difficulty 5.
Okay, so that. Oop, hang on a second here. I think I opened that before you hit your thingy. Persuasion. Oh, there we go. Much
Okay.
better.
Yep.
It came out as a difficulty -1, and I knew that
Nope.
wasn't going to happen. Okay, specialized. There we go. I'm about to take a nap. Why not put some effort into it?
Yeah, Zahara, I mean, so Zell is currently attempting to combination of sweet talk and logic you away from the bar and back up to your room. How do you respond to this?
At first I'm like trying to shove him off, doing the
Get my Mac on.
yeah. Look. Dude, you're harshing my mojo. Come on. Yeah, but
Worst wingman ever.
yeah, with a lot more words he probably doesn't understand because it's very strongly desert dialect.
Yep.
Because she is so drunk at this point that common is not the language that comes to her brain.
Yep.
But there is a part of her that does recognize that as much as this fucking demon in front of her is pissing her off, he's also not wrong.
Okay.
And she will fight the whole way out of the room. Or at least give it a good theatrical look like she's fighting the whole way out of the room. Because she could take him.
Yeah.
But
I think I would pay really good money to.
Just don't punch me in the horns. You'll be fine.
Not the face, not the face.
Don't punch him where he's horny. You manage to get her back to the crashing dune, and up into one of the rooms.
I almost see him doing the scene from League of Our Own where Jimmy throws the girl in the shower and says you stay there until you cool off kind of thing.
Yep.
I'm going to be a proper gentleman. When she collapses onto the bed, I'll tug her boots off and then put them neatly on the side. And like, okay, 3 more to go.
Put a pail next to her bed.
Pail in a glass of water.
Yep.
You'll need one of these.
All right. So the other 3 of you are, I mean, you're drunk. No doubt about it. You are not nearly as bad off as Zahar was. And so you just saw Zell escort the lady out under only a moderate bit of duress. What are the 3 of you doing while the 2 of them are gone?
Sherwood is laughing his ass off. Like
Fair.
that drunk, like almost you get the wheezies laughter where you just can't stop. Yeah, he's
That's
he's
really
at this
funny
point.
coming from his bill.
Right.
Yeah.
Particulates flying out the 2 holes right on top. Like a little geyser.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Bina?
She's singing and just random, just like happy songs. I mean, it's like they just, it doesn't even make sense. And every once in a while, she's like, oh, I should probably eat something, and grab some nibbles.
So I think that what happens here, if I may, is like every once in a while, Fina, you find yourself kind of unintentionally drifting back into that hymn to Waka that you were singing in the temple, and that's kind of what shakes you out of it and says, okay, I need something to eat. And then, Howard, you are drunk enough that you take it up again, and that's kind of what draws her back into it. So it's this very vicious cycle. Tick.
Tick is blabbering his full head off about absolutely nothing. Conversationally, he is unhinged. It is just a stream of consciousness. Midway through the third or fourth drink, he remembered that he lost everything at the workshop. And so then he started just going on about the Whirlythwopter and that punk ass dude who was next to him that probably has all of his stuff, and he wants to go find that. And it is just hopping around subject to subject. There might be a thread of logic in there, but nobody else can follow it.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. Half-Man, did your courtship go well?
Courtship?
Yes, there was that other gnome that you were very intent with.
Oh no.
Gave him a gift, too, I think. If I can understand your babble there, you seem to have left your tools with him.
Wow.
That's generally a mating offering.
Maybe amongst your kind, but I've actually studied mine and yours, and it is nothing of the sort. Thank you very much. No, that little twerp probably has all of my gold, probably has all of my tools. Trying to chase after the Ornithopter because it went boom and went flying, and we're trying to chase after it. But were you there? No, you weren't there. So I would shut the bill, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, really? Do you want to do this
man.
now, little man?
Tick.
Little man.
Would you like an intrusion?
And another thing, hold on, somebody's tapping me on the shoulder. What? Okay, y'all take it. Everybody welcome.
So, Howard,
Yes.
Tick is just going off the rails.
On a crazy train.
And you have one of those moments of drunken clarity where you realize two things. Number one, Tick is probably saying things that should not be said out loud in a public area regarding your group's intentions and activities and goals and whatnot. Two, he is not babbling to nobody. Somebody's listening.
We're in the bar. We're not.
Yep.
We're not still bathing.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. You are in the main hall of the Lone Oasis.
I literally take the bottle of Eric and shove it into his mouth.
Okay. So okay. So you're both drunk, so that's going to offset. Howard, please make me a light weapons attack roll. Takeedle, please make an open-ended, no difficulty. Takeedle, please make me an open-ended speed defense roll. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay.
So-
As one would expect from a couple drunks.
Right?
Yeah, he's like, you need to keep your teeth behind your lips. Here, have another drink. And instead of getting the bottle in his mouth, it's like splash the contents all over his face.
And all over yours.
Yes.
Keeler responds with, "You idiot! Don't you realize how this is what happened in the first place? A few days ago? We've gone through this already."
Hush.
Zell, this is the scene that you arrive back at the bar to see.
And Tick is not taking no for an answer. He is getting louder and not listening.
Okay. Fina and Zell, you are seeing this unfold. Would either of you like to do something now?
Begs the GM.
No,
Check.
I'm perfectly happy to keep this going, but there are two other PCs in the bar that might want to have a say in this.
So I lean over towards Tick, and I'm going to pull the best card that I possibly have. Tick.
What?
So the ornithopter was flying. How is it able to keep aloft when it's it's just like it has wings, but they aren't like bird wings. So how is it able to move? I don't understand this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just try to like derail him onto another set of tracks entirely.
So
You idiot! Anybody knows that, and he starts to technobab.
So hold on. So here's what we're gonna do. Zell, make me an open-ended persuasion check. And again, if you don't generally have yourself as specialized in persuasion, you can do that because your pleasant social interactions is always going to apply there. Tick, please make me an intellect defense roll.
Unweighted.
Yep.
Well, I was going to put some effort into that, but
Okay. Oh, this is too good. This is just too good.
I have an idea.
Okay, go for it.
Where we needed him.
He gets like, so I ask him the dumb question, and he starts rattling on and on so fast. He eventually just takes a deep breath and then passes out. Just cold.
Okay, I'm good with that.
So sorry.
Are you two okay to come back with me?
Is
Yeah.
the person who is listening in still here?
Make me a perception check, difficulty 3.
Sorry, difficulty what?
3.
3. Okay. As Zell said, we're
So remember, you do not automatically refill to full overnight in CYPHER. That is just your 10-hour recovery roll.
right. I still have a couple.
Okay,
still have 2 left in the
yep.
bank. So
fair enough. the person that you clocked as having paying attention to Tequila is no longer there.
Did I see him leave or
No.
was distracted? Damn that half man. Prattled on and there was somebody listening. It's gone now.
Scoop up Tick. So he said, like, put my, like, get behind him because he's smaller than me. I can actually do this. Slide my one arm underneath both of his, lift him up by his chest, kind of like carrying a cat, and start heading towards the door. So come on, let's go, guys. We have to get y'all into bed before something tragic happens.
Children studying the mating habits of my people. And you see Harewood like hand go under the kilt for a second.
Yeah, so you your bar tab was already paid because you didn't actually make it through the 2 bottles, and the rest will cover whatever food you had. And you all make it back to the crashing dune.
Okay, so how late did they manage to make it, given that they were hitting the hard stuff?
I would say probably past dark. Not to the middle of the night, but probably to about the point where most people with regular day jobs would go to sleep for the evening.
Okay. So I have a plan.
Keep in mind that computer people are not regular people with regular day jobs. We don't count.
Yeah.
So
it's not 1 a.m.
I make sure everybody gets into their respective rooms.
Okay.
And because we had, 2 or 3 rooms?
We had 2.
Yeah.
I think we had 2 girls and guys.
Okay. So I get Seraphina into her room and like keep an eye on her. She's going to be in rough shape in the morning. I get the other 2. So I but that's right, because we only had the 1 bed in ours. So I get Tech kind of situated on one side of the bed. See where Heward wants to sleep, if he wants to sleep in the bed or somewhere else, like if he wants me to fill up the bathtub or something, I'm not sure.
Gathers some hay and makes a little nest.
And then I'm going to head back out.
Okay.
Because since I was there, and I'm still sober, I know that Tech's stuff is still over at the workshop. So I'm going to wander off towards the workshop. Since it's dark, too many people really shouldn't see me too well. So I'm going to go over there. I know which table's his. I'm going to grab all this shit and I'm going to bring it back with me.
Yep.
Well, what's the worst that can happen?
Don't say that.
No, you know what? You guys need something to go right. Yes, that happens. That happens without incident. And you even look, and all of his stuff is still even in the bag, along with a small note.
What does the note say?
Consider this professional courtesy, asshole. And it is signed Finbaz.
I was going under the assumption that Finbaz, under no circumstances, would steal the inferior equipment from his rival. Because that would be admitting that at least he did something correct, and obviously that can't be the case.
No, but so the other side of that argument is this stuff is much better served in my more capable hands than in your clearly inferior ones.
Sure.
Hence, nope, just Consider this professional courtesy, asshole. Finbaz.
All right. So I get his stuff and I go back to the hotel. I put it down. All right. Then finally go to bed.
Okay.
Okay, can I interject just
Please.
the scene as he opens up the room? Last you'd seen Hereward, he was like sort of slumped down on the floor, leaning up against his back to the bed, just muttering. You're just hearing angry. You come back, and Hereward's dead asleep in the bed with Taquital teddy bear.
Yes.
So,
and
Fortunately, I don't need a good night's sleep.
so you got that going on.
Yep, exactly.
I wish Taquito had invented a camera so I could take a picture of this. But I'm just going to let what happens in the morning. And like, I assume there's a chair or something I can like sack out on.
Yep. And if that isn't a perfect image to end the episode on, I don't know what is. So, yep, this was episode 8 of Echoes of the Undying. The title I'm currently toying with is, to quote one of my favorite television writers, "What kind of day has it been?" So, thank you all for watching. Do what you do. We love having viewers. We love having chatters. We're doing this to have fun, and come share the fun with us. We're going to get out of here, take a quick bio break, come back to our after show. That'll come up tomorrow night, 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time on YouTube. And there may actually even be another special thing that comes onto YouTube tomorrow, I think. I think that's going to happen. But in the meantime, for Matt, Julie, Ray, Patrick, and ECAT, I am Trevor, the Vitruvian Meeple. Have a good night, everyone.